Medical students from Tzu Chi University visit a disadvantaged community in the Philippines on their summer vacation. A group of doctors from the Healthcare Foundation of Nepal visit Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital in Taiwan to learn how to improve healthcare in Nepal. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Duncan DeAeth. Thank you for joining us. A group of TEMA doctors from the Philippines, Taiwan, and Singapore organized a free clinic at the Late Progressive High School in Tacloban, Philippines. The 3-day free clinic was a blessing for those who can't afford surgery, like 32-year-old Alberto Lobos and 57-year-old Teresita Bonga. Let's take a look.
32-year-old Alberto Lobos, who is an automotive electrician, was involved in a work accident on August 8th. Although he had taken medication for the pain, he was worried that his wound might be infected.
I heard that there's a free clinic here today. I didn't even think twice about it. I just came. And I've been here waiting in the queue since 4 a.m. I thank God for His grace and mercy that I am able to get treated here. I'm very thankful to Tzu Chi.
On the final day of the free clinic, Alberto finally had the metal fragments removed from his body. Tzu Chi's free clinic in Tacloban served many residents who needed surgery but were unable to afford it. 57-year-old Teresita Bonga has been troubled by a mole on her nose that discharges pus every time she finishes bathing.
I was really scared. Everyone told me that the mole on my nose is probably cancer because of the size of the mole. I didn't know where or how to get help.
Thanks to the help of TEMA doctors, Teresita was finally able to receive the treatment that she needed. For many residents like Teresita, this free clinic not only offered free, high-quality service, it was also a dream come true.
Mom, thank you so much. Thank you. You don't have to.
After Typhoon Nepartek struck Taidong in July, Tzu Chi's first concern was the safety of people living in disaster-struck areas. On August 8th, volunteers began a survey that lasted 3 days, checking the safety of around 300 households that received special attention. Many face economic hardships and are in need of funds for home repairs. 35 of those households were considered critical and will become long-term care recipients. Volunteers listen patiently as this resident struggles to hold back her emotions. This resident of Xianglan village lives alone, and when the typhoon struck and tore away her roof, she was forced to live in the garage temporarily. Since her furniture has all been ruined, Tzu Chi brought a jingsi bed for her to sleep on.
Hey, this isn't bad. The jingsi bed has a bunch of holes. That will make it cooler.
This resident's daughter came to help her mother clean up after the typhoon and said that after disasters like the 9/21 earthquake and Typhoon Morakot, she knew that Tzu Chi would be there to help. Her and her mother expressed their gratitude.
You all were the first group that came. Really, we had worried so long, but my mother always knew you would all be the ones to help. Not anyone else.
For residents throughout the disaster areas that were deemed to be in need, Tzu Chi began making rounds to deliver aid. Starting on August 8th, Tzu Chi made visits to 300 households over the course of 3 days. The assistance is intended to help with immediate repairs, day-to-day necessities, student needs, and general emotional support.
The seniors were quite worried. You can see it on their faces. Seeing things get better, I've been really moved. You all coming to help is truly moving.
For residents requiring long-term care, Tzu Chi discusses their needs and begins to plan accordingly. Tzu Chi wants these communities to know that they will have support through the difficult times that may lay ahead. In late July, a group of 21 medical students from Tzu Chi University traveled to the Philippines with teachers and Tzu Chi volunteers to undertake volunteer work. They met impoverished families in Tondo of Manila to distribute rice and other food. Let's take a look.
A group of 28 people, including medical students and teachers from Tzu Chi University, as well as Tzu Chi volunteers, went to the Philippines to carry out their volunteer work. After attending a small gathering where a brief introduction was held, they headed to Tondo of Manila to visit some impoverished families. Buildings along the roadside are crude. Residents are living in dark and narrow spaces. All these scenes inspire the students' compassion before they become staff members, as they have never witnessed such poor living conditions before.
After experiencing all of this, I'm asking myself how to make my life more meaningful and how to help those in need.
We should be more patient and careful when we offer medical services in the future.
Despite their poor backgrounds and living conditions, they still have positive attitudes towards their lives. I think we can learn from their spirit.
This Tzu Chi volunteer Tai Dui used to work as a government employee and serves as a contact with the government of the Philippines. On this trip, he is visiting this deprived region with these students to care for and get a deeper understanding of those less fortunate communities.
This experience very impressed about these villages, especially for so many people living there. It's beyond my imaginations. Original, I expected just maybe a couple hundred people living there, but I think maybe it's more than 1,000. Maybe Tzu Chi Foundation, we can do something for them. But this time we only bring some rice, some food.
Through this volunteer work, these students are learning to sympathize with and care for disadvantaged patients before they become medical staff members themselves.
21 Tzu Chi University medical students used their summer vacation to visit Leyte province in the central Philippines to see how disaster areas after Typhoon Haiyan have been recovering. Let's hear what these students learned.
When taking a bird's eye view of Tacloban City, Philippines, it looks quite different from TV. Typhoon Haiyan devastated many areas in Tacloban City 3 years ago, affecting many buildings and residents. However, everything has been restored to its former glory now. 21 Tzu Chi University medical students visit DaAi village in Palo, Philippines with Tzu Chi volunteers to understand the stories behind this restored village.
Okay.
The students are learning to build prefabricated houses with DaAi villagers in Palo, Philippines.
I feel ashamed of wasting my time on frivolous activities after seeing their hard work to restore their homes. I will definitely seize every chance to help the needy in the future.
They make every effort to deliver bags of rice into the DaAi village in Ormoc, and then deliver one bag to a senior.
I'm crying because I feel glad to receive rice. I finally have sufficient food to eat. When I couldn't afford to buy rice before, I sometimes drank something to fill my stomach.
The skills of house building and the rice filled with love both come from Taiwan. Also, with the help of Taiwan's Tzu Chi volunteers, Leyte province in the central Philippines can restore to its former glory.
Tzu Chi brothers and sisters have shared with us how Typhoon Haiyan devastated this region, as well as how Tzu Chi volunteers carried out their disaster relief efforts. We won't realize the facts until we witness them.
To these students, this visit brings not only a meaningful summer vacation, but also an important journey that may influence their lives.
Making the most of their summer vacation, teachers and students from the elementary division of the affiliated Tzu Chi Senior High School headed to Jakarta, Indonesia, where they visited impoverished families. These Taiwanese students learned to treasure their blessings and pledge to help others in the future.
Though
this senior needs a translator to translate Mandarin for her, she can already feel everyone's care and compassion.
We hope to put her mind at ease after visiting and caring for her. Also, we hope she can regain her health soon.
Teachers and students from the elementary division of Tzu Chi Senior High School are here in Jakarta, Indonesia, to visit impoverished communities. This visit has proved to be an eye-opening experience for everyone.
After seeing some children sleeping on the ground, our students couldn't believe this is their way of life. They were shocked by the awful living conditions of these less fortunate children.
They live in a very narrow space of an alley. There is no air conditioner as well. I think I am more blessed than those children, so I should be more grateful and contented.
After witnessing suffering, these students have learned to cherish their blessings. Also, through their interactions with the less fortunate children, these Taiwanese students have set expectations for themselves.
Though they come from impoverished families, they are still willing to help those who are poorer than them. I am very fortunate compared to them, so I want to help more people in the future.
These Taiwanese students have learned many things from this visit. They have not only broadened their horizons, but also left memories to last a lifetime.
In Dongguan, China, many locals in the New Bay Harbor area used to fish for a living. However, the decline of the fishing industry caused many youth to flee, leaving the elderly, like 88-year-old Ye Mei, to fend for themselves. Thankfully, Tzu Chi volunteers have cared for many in this area since 2005.
Solitary grandmother's only source of income and savings is a 400 renminbi grant she receives from the government each month. This is also the life of many of the seniors that live in the New Bay fishing harbor of Dongguan, China. Since 2005, Tzu Chi volunteers have been giving care and support in hopes that these seniors may find strength and comfort in the love of the Tzu Chi family.
The earthquake in Nepal in 2015 led to a bond between Nepal and Tzu Chi. Recently, the Healthcare Foundation of Nepal came to Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital to sign a memorandum, as they hope to learn from Taiwan's medical experience to improve the health of Nepalese people.
The Healthcare Foundation of Nepal is signing a memorandum with Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital to improve healthcare for people in Nepal. Currently, Nepal has around 2,000 dialysis patients, so the foundation members visit the dialysis room of the Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital. They are attracted to a dialysis liquid exchange box. This box can help patients carry out peritoneal dialysis at home and also reduce their chances of infection.
We are doing PD for so many years, but number of PD is not so high, but due to the infection. People are scared of the infection. So in our country, there is dust. So this device might help very much.
The foundation members also follow the medical staff of Dalin Tzu Chi Hospital to learn lessons on dementia. Playing games can help slow down the progression of this disease. The foundation members realize that medical treatment can be simple and fun.
In Lucao Township, Jiayi County, Tzu Chi provided temporary classrooms for Houtang Elementary School while the main building undergoes repairs. We'll join a few volunteers as they prepare the grounds around the temporary classrooms. These volunteers efficiently move each brick in a line until it reaches its destination on the pathway. The path leads to the temporary classrooms that have been built by Tzu Chi. The classrooms are necessary for the new school year because the main school is undergoing repairs.
We're preparing the path connecting the classrooms for the new school year. Just having the classes open isn't enough. This needs to be satisfactory for the students to use.
Right now, since the school's classrooms are undergoing repairs, in order for classes to proceed, new classrooms were built by Tzu Chi. A neighborhood resident, Mr. Li Zhengkun, heard about the operation and joined in to help.
There are a few things to see before classes start, so I come to help get things ready. Actually, we're just doing what needs to be done.
These volunteers have been hard at work since 7 in the morning. Their clothes are wet after working up a sweat, but no one complains because they are happy knowing the children will benefit from their work.
Tao Zhongyong went to jail because of gang involvement. After his release, he did odd jobs for a living, and then after his divorce, he assumed responsibility for raising his 4 children and caring for his aging mother, who was suffering from mental illness. 2 years ago, he was diagnosed with stage 3 oral cancer and fought the disease for his children. Now that his condition has stabilized, he serves as a volunteer, also teaching his children about gratitude and service to others.
Tao Zongyong is patiently teaching these children how to take apart an electric fan and carefully wash it. He does so without losing his patience. After this couple divorced, caring for their 4 children became Mr. Tao's responsibility. Over the years, he did odd jobs and housework as he couldn't bear to see his children suffer.
As I was growing up, my mother suffered from mental problems, and my father was a member of a ship's crew, so he wasn't at home. On school days, when others brought lunch boxes, I didn't have anything to bring. I didn't want my children to suffer the same fate. I told myself that no matter how hard I work, I don't want my children to have nothing to eat at school. I'll never let my children starve.
Everyone needs to do some work, but some think that doing just their part is enough. I think my father can do double or even triple the work because he is responsible and would rather suffer so that we could have food to eat or have enough money.
Practicing martial arts and athletics, Mr. Tao was very energetic during his youth, though he took the wrong path in life and doesn't hide his past from his children.
I told them that they don't want to follow my path, as there is a chance they might not be saved. It is very difficult to come back from this.
Mr. Tao takes out cards his children have written to him, like an important treasure. It shows that the prodigal son returned to take up the burden of caring for the family. 2 years ago, he faced an even greater challenge.
The moment I learned that he had cancer, he was quite worried and came to the Fund for Children and Families and discussed his concern and what would happen to his children in the future.
I delayed treatment for 1 week, and then it turned into stage 3 cancer. My daughter begged me to get help because they don't have a mother, and she said that if I didn't get treatment, they would have no father.
For the sake of his children, Mr. Tao bravely fought his oral cancer. Along the way, many people were eager to help him. He also became a volunteer and taught his children to be grateful.
The government gave you a grant to help you study, and the Fund for Children and Families is also supporting you, along with Tzu Chi. If you have the ability to help and give back to the community, you should do so.
Mr. Tao's daughters frequently go on the street to help raise money for charity to complete the cycle of goodness and gratitude.
In Kaohsiung, Taiwan, a hardworking man suffers from poliomyelitis, an infectious disease that attacks the nervous system. He's 60 years old, still cares for his mother, and works at the Taiwan Power Company. He is also a lifelong student and spent 15 years to complete his PhD. His hard work and filial piety make him a great model for his children.
Huang Guozhen arrives at his native hometown after work. This is the moment his 86-year-old mother anticipates every day.
If he doesn't come here on time, I may wonder what he is doing and where he goes.
Huang Guozhen feels heartbroken for his mother's mobility issues because she used to work for a family of 7. As a result, she acquired an occupational injury.
Since my parents didn't have jobs, we relied on my mother's handicraft of sewing and embroidery for financial support. My mother's spine started to have pathological issues at the age of 50 or 60.
Despite the fact that Huang Guozhen suffers from an infectious disease that attacks the nervous system, he cares for his mother every day. This encourages him to further his studies, as well as care for his mother and family. He spent 15 years completing his PhD, therefore, he is aware of his children's educational development.
At the time, my children were also schooling, so I could share with them how to handle their schoolwork at senior high, as well as how to prepare for college examinations since I had prior experience.
Huang Guozhen's children are aware of their father's hard work and filial piety as their role model. All of them not only have master's degrees, but also work in their respective fields.
Father's Day in Taiwan just passed, and in both Taipei and New Taipei City, Tzu Chi held Father's Day events. Volunteers, as well as members of the public, joined in to express their gratitude to the fathers present. Let's take a look.
These Tzu Chi brothers were just coming for a study group session when suddenly they are met with a chorus of voices and flowers. At the Zhongshan Tzu Chi Liaison Office, these fathers weren't expecting such a welcome.
Our fathers are always by our side. Fathers always give you the strongest shoulder to lean on. That's what we want to say today. We just want to express our gratitude with a small, heartfelt gesture.
At a sign language performance class in Danshui, there are no flowers, but a questionnaire for children and parents brings smiles to everyone present.
What do you like hearing your child say the most? The answer was, "Dad, please don't worry about it."
What do you like hearing your child say the most? That would be, "Daddy, I love you."
For this activity, the children are asked to draw their dad. Even if some of the pictures end up looking like aliens, as long as it comes from their child's hand, it will surely capture the father's heart.
It's actually a very nice feeling. If there were more people, it would be even more lively.
These fathers don't ask for much or expect much. A warm greeting, some kind words, and the occasional hug is more than enough to make these dads happy.
Many fathers will receive blessings from their children on Father's Day, but the homeless may not have this luxury if they have lost contact with their families. For them, Father's Day might be a sad day. The Zinan Homeless Social Welfare Foundation asked people to write letters to the homeless so that they may also feel cared for.
Many of the homeless have lost contact with their families, so they feel sad as they won't receive well wishes from their children for this Father's Day.
Because he hasn't contacted his family for a long time, so he doesn't dare to tell them about his condition.
The Taiwan station of Zinan Foundation appealed to the public to write letters to encourage the homeless on the eve of Father's Day.
Because I don't have any children, if some stranger sends me a letter, I'll be moved.
The event just started in August, so there aren't many letters now. The Taiwan station hopes more residents will be willing to write to the homeless.
I will write one because the Father's Day is just around the corner. They are alone most of the time, so they should be moved when they see the letters. I hope it will be an unforgettable Father's Day for them.
The homeless need more than food and clothing. The care and love of members of public will give them more hope, and it's just what they need.
The tea ceremony is about more than just enjoying tea. It's a chance to learn manners and practice mindfulness. At the end of our program, we'll leave you with some images of volunteers in Tainan and Pingdong practicing the Tzu Chi tea ceremony. That's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.